Hi, Assalamualaikum. Good day, everyone. So today we are going to continue the new chapter on chapter 10 from 4, the transport in humans and animals. So without further delay, let's continue the subtopic 10.1, the type of circulatory system. This is the importance for the transport system in complex multicellular organisms. Each living cell will need the essential substance such as oxygen and nutrients, and at the same time we have to expel or excrete the cellular waste products such as carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste. This is the differences between the large and small objects. Cube B have a value of total surface area over volume is about 1.5. We can conclude here that the larger the object or the larger the organism, the value of total surface area over volume is smaller. Here are several aspects that we can compare between the unicellular and multicellular. The unicell have small volume, meanwhile the multicellular have large volume. The total surface area over volume for the unicellular is large, meanwhile the total surface area over volume in multicellular is small. The distance from surrounding in the unicellular is near, meanwhile the distance from surrounding in multicellular is far. The unicellular will get or obtain their requirement by diffusion, but the multicellular will obtain their requirement by diffusion and also have the circulatory system. In details, we are going to discuss the type of circulatory system in the multicellular organism. The circulatory system divided into two types, the open circulatory system and also closed circulatory system. We can see the open circulatory system in insects. The closed circulatory system divided into two types, the single closed circulation, we can see it in fish, and second one is double closed circulation. Double closed circulation divided into incomplete and complete. Incomplete circulation we can see in the amphibians, meanwhile the complete double circulation we can see in the reptiles, mammals and birds. Without further delay, let's continue more details about the terms that we have discussed before. So what are the open and closed circulatory system? Open circulatory system. The hemolymph will flow directly into the body cavity or hemocoel and buffer cell. The hemolymph is a blood-like nutritious liquid and basically we can find it in the insect and also mollusk. The closed circulatory system. The blood is always contained in a continuous closed blood vessel, and then it will be distributed to the whole body. The exchange of substances that are essential to the cell, such as oxygen and nutrients, will occur across the wall of the blood capillary. Now we are going to discuss about the open circulatory system. The circulatory system of insect basically consists of one or more hearts from the hemolymph through the blood vessel into the hemocoel. The hemolymph will flow out from the heart into the hemocoel when the heart contracts. In the hemocoel, the substance exchange between the hemolymph and body cell will occur through the diffusion process. When the heart relaxes, the hemolymph will flow back into the heart through the tiny opening that is called ostium. Here are the closed circulatory system in fish. The blood flows in one direction in the fish circulation system, and so that it is known as a single circulatory system. The heart of fish consists of two chambers, that is the atrium and ventricle. You can see here the structure of ventricle and the atrium. The blood that leaves the ventricle is pumped to the gill capillaries to enable the gaseous exchange occur in the gill capillaries. The gill capillaries carry blood through the blood vessel that transport oxygenated blood to the systemic capillaries. Here is the systemic capillaries. In the systemic capillaries, the oxygen will diffuse into the tissue, while the carbon dioxide will diffuse from the tissue into the capillaries, and then the deoxygenated blood then return to the heart atrium through the vein. Here are the closed circulatory systems in amphibia. There are 3 chambers in the heart of the amphibia, consist of 2 atria and the ventricle. The system is known as the double circulatory system. Amphibia are said to have the incomplete double circulatory system because the oxygenated blood and the oxygenated blood are mixed, because they have no structure of septum in the amphibia. Blood flow in 2 directions. The first one is the pulmocutaneous circulation. It involves the transport of blood to the lungs and the skin, and the exchange of gases will take place here. The second circulation is systemic. Systemic circulation will transport the oxygenated blood to the body tissue and return the deoxygenated blood to the right atrium through the vein. We are going to discuss more details about the circulatory system in the amphibian. Referring to the diagram, the number 1 shows the deoxygenated blood from the body is transported into the right atrium. Then, the oxygenated blood from the lungs and skin is transported by the pulmonary vein to the left atrium. Number 3, the blood from both atria enter one ventricle. Even though there are some mixing of the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in the ventricle, but most of the oxygenated blood will remain on the left side, while the deoxygenated blood will remain on the right side of the ventricle. Then, the ventricle will pump the blood through the pulmocutaneous and systemic circulation. This is the closed circulatory system in humans. Human heart consists of 4 chambers, 2 atria and 2 ventricles that are separated completely. The human have a double circulatory system. This means in one complete circulatory cycle, the blood flow in the blood vessel through the heart twice. Humans have a complete double circulatory system because the deoxygenated blood and the oxygenated blood do not mix. It is separate by a structure that's called septum. This is the circulatory system in human, consists of 2 types, the pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. The pulmonary circulation involves the deoxygenated blood is transported through the pulmonary artery to the lungs for the gaseous exchange. The oxygenated blood from the lung is returned to the left atrium and flow into the ventricle. In the systemic circulation, the blood is pumped from the heart to all the body tissues through the aorta. Then the deoxygenated blood returns to the right atrium through a vena cava. Here are some similarities between circulatory systems in complex multicellular organisms. All circulatory system is found in all multicell organisms. It consists of the heart to pump the blood or hemolymph. The circulatory system functions to transport nutrient and waste in the heart will ensure that the blood flow in one direction only. Here are the differences between the circulatory system in complex multicellular organisms. We can see that for the type of circulatory system, only insects have the open blood circulatory system. The number of circulation in fish only 1. But the amphibian and human have double circulation. The number of cavities is different in each organism. The insect has heart that is made up of many cavity segments. Meanwhile, the fish have 2, amphibian 3, and human 4. The separations of deoxygenated and oxygenated blood have different in amphibian and human. Humans have complete separations of oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. Meanwhile, the amphibians have some oxygenated blood mixing with the oxygenated blood.